Faster! In a real fight, you'd be dead already.
Sir.
Ah, Henry. Carry on. Well, lad, have you made any progress with the investigation?
Yes, sir. I think I have at last.
So you found someone who isn't gutted and nailed to a wall?
It wasn't easy, sir, but I believe I have. I have information about one of the bandits who did it. He's even hiding in a village nearby.
God's blood. It's true the darkest shade is beneath the candlestick. Who is he?
I only know that they call him Riki, and he's from here in Talmberg.
That's it?
You wouldn't believe how much effort it took me to find that out. But I think it's enough to go on.
What if he's dead too?
I think we'd already know if he was. These fellows are not given to subtlety.
True enough. We haven't found any more mutilated corpses. Well, get on with it then. And when you find him, come and see me. Most likely I'll be in the encampment by Merhoyed.
You can rely on me, sir. Farewell.
And be careful, Henry. I know what that rabble did to you. But remember with whom you're dealing. Don't start any foolhardiness on your own. Understood?
I'll try not to, sir. Tell me something about Talmberg. Listen, I'm looking for a fellow they call Riki. Do you know him?
You mean Hinnick? He's the tanner's son, isn't he?
Any idea where I might find him?
I don't know. Try at his folks' house, but he doesn't spend much time there.
Why do they call Hinnick Riki, anyway?
He's a tanner, isn't he? If you're ever downwind of him, you'll see for yourself. Tanning isn't a trade for the weak of stomach.
True enough, but not every courier is given that name.
Well, I'd say it might have something to do with his reputation, too.
What can you tell me about the old courier?
As I say, he's as cantankerous as a hog in a thorn bush. He won't talk to anyone.
You know this Hinnick. Can you tell me something about him?
Not much, I confess. Much of the village folk avoid him like the plague.
Why is that?
Tanners have never been the most sought-after companions. And what's more, he keeps the company of all kinds of knaves. In short, he doesn't have the best reputation.
Don't tell me no one at all talks to him.
Well, he's been seen around with one of the bathhouse wenches. Adela, I believe she's called.
Why has he got such a bad name?
Well, like his old man, he doesn't talk much to anyone, and then he's always skulking off somewhere. I heard he got a taste of the pillory and retired for thieving, and in Neuhof he got boozed up in the alehouse with his cronies and they beat up some merchants.
A bit more than high spirits, huh?
Just so. We're all honest folk here, and we've no use for the likes of him.
Where does the tanner live? Where's the bathhouse? And does nobody at all talk to him?
I hear he sees Adela.
So Adela is his sweetheart.
Sweetheart? I wouldn't put it that way. She's anybody's sweetheart if they've got the money for it.
Why don't people like him?
I'm not one to gossip. All I can tell you is he doesn't make a good impression on folk.
What can you tell me about this Hynek?
I wouldn't say I know him. Decent people have nothing to do with him.
How come?
He stinks, he's filthy, and he goes around with peculiar people. In short, not someone you'd want to know.
What's the tanner like, Hynek's father?
He's a slimy old toad, unpleasant to folk, and weird.
Why do they call him Riki anyway?
Why do you think? Because he's got a big nose? He reeks, that's why, Jesus.
Can you tell me something about Tarnberg? What's it like here? I heard you've been seeing Hinnock the tanner.
So what? Come to preach to me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner? That I seduce decent men, huh?
Look, I don't care what you do. That's your affair. I just want to ask about something.
I'm glad to hear it. Some folk don't care for the way I make a living.
I can imagine.
So, what about you, then? You look a bit careworn. A bath with a bit of company might do you good.
Maybe later, sweetheart. Right now, I have some questions to ask.
Ask away.
When did you see him last?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening. Drunk.
That was unusual?
I never saw him drink much. He always came here sober.
So he was acting strange that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He kept on prattling and wasn't interested in, well, you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Hard to say. He went on about some Jacob who died. Then he was regretting he ever got into it, but he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye, and then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of money hidden at home behind the house.
Uh-huh. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl, and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me and we could get married and such. Just poppycock.
Did you go there for a look?
No, I've no time for such things. Obviously, he made it up. Where would a layabout like that get money?
Sure, I understand. Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his dad's small holding in the western corner.
All right, thanks. Is it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go with him even for money?
The other bathhouse girls are honest, so I don't know. The truth is, I felt a bit sorry for him. Folk don't like him, and it's only 'cause his old man is a grouch and a tanner.
I heard they don't like him because he keeps company with villains.
True enough, but they didn't like him before either. Or me. They're close-minded yokels. Both of us are sort of black sheep in the village.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing more. Maybe Hinnock thinks differently, but that's how it goes.
Where can I find Hinnock?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
He goes to the woods from time to time. That smells fishy.
What do you mean? There's no law against it, is there?
With all the footpads, pillagers, cumans, and God knows what kind of vermin around, I'd say that's pretty suspicious.
But Hinnock certainly has nothing to do with those people.
Then what does he do there? I don't expect he's gathering mushrooms.
I really don't know what you want from me. So Hinnock is a bit odd, and sometimes he goes off into the woods.
Another thing about the money.
What is it?
Is it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go with him even for money?
The other bathhouse girls are honest, so...
So you only felt sorry for him?
Both of us are sort of black sheep in the village.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing more. Maybe Hinnock thinks differently, but that's how it goes.
Where can I find him?
I haven't seen him in the village for
Does he do that often?
from time to time.
What the hell does he get up to?
Um,
Look here. I'm a friend of Hinnick's, and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
but I already told you I don't know where he is.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
I really don't know what you want from me. So Hinnick is a bit odd, and sometimes he goes off into the woods.
You know this Hinnick. Can you tell me something about him?
He's a bastard.
Oh yeah? In what way?
He's a scoundrel who keeps company with all sorts and gets up to devilry. Folk don't talk to him much.
What can you tell me about the old courier?
The apple never falls far from the tree. Hinnick's a scoundrel and his father's a grouchy old bastard.
I'm looking for a fellow they call Riki. Have you ever heard tell of him?
Why wouldn't I? That's what they call my son, Hinnick.
Uh-huh. You wouldn't happen to know where he is?
I don't know nothing.
Don't you know at least where he usually goes? It's quite important.
Hinnick shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did, why would I tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry?
Look here, fellow. Your son is in a serious scrape, and I'm trying to help him. Your evasions are starting to vex me, and my patience is running out.
Are you threatening me? And I'm supposed to believe that you want to help Hinnick?
Believe what you like. I'm concerned about Hinnick, but I don't care much what happens to you. Is that clear?
Fuck it. I'm not going to take a beating on account of that good-for-nothing.
So?
There's not much I can do for you anyway. Hinnick was here, but he left right away.
Where did he go? You better give me something. You really do not want to waste my time.
Hinnick makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout he found in the woods, but he never told me where it is.
All right. It's not much to go on, but it's better than nothing. Don't you have any clue where his hideout might be?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there is all.
How's that?
'Cause every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
He had money because he sold the stuff right away?
I suppose he never kept any of his loot here.
Do you know who he sold it to?
Well, I don't really know. But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him money. Of course, it could have been for meat.
All right. I'll ask at the inn, then. I'd like to talk to you about your Hinnick.
I'm very busy, so make...
Do you at least know anyone he's friends with, or someone he goes to see?
As far as I know, nobody here in the village talks to him.
I heard he's seeing some bathhouse wench.
Maybe. He can't get it for free, so I suppose he's got to go to the baths.
Don't you have any clue where his...
I really don't know.
How's that?
'Cause
He had money because he sold the...
I suppose he...
Do you know who he...
Well,
All right. What more do you know?
I don't know. I swear to God Almighty, I don't know. Hinnick never told me nothing.
I know he didn't talk to you about it, but you must have noticed something, right? How much time did he spend away? What was he wearing? How did he look when he came back? Anything!
Well, he came and went at various times. I really don't know. Except maybe one thing. He'd come home scratched with brambles and leaves and shit on him.
So he probably went through thick woods to get to that place.
I reckon. What do I know?